Good morning and welcome to Meals with Melissa. It is Saturday morning, and I know that it's a little bit early as compared to normal, but I have some important events today, so I chose to do this a little bit early. I will post it when I'm done, so you will be able to see it, even if you're hopping on at our normal time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, yeah, I'm going to my son's very first powerlifting meet over at PAC, which is Power Athletics Compound here in the Tri-Cities. Super excited to see him compete for his very first time, and so I want to make sure that I am there to see it. So that's why we're doing early today. So today we are actually working with a really fun, I totally have a sweet tooth. I love ice cream, can't really eat it very often because my body is extremely lactose intolerant, but I remember as a kid going to Wendy's and eating those soft serve ice cream, the Frosties that they have, and I just loved it. Fond memories of that. So, anytime that I find something that is a little low carb, a little more, people call it keto friendly, call it whatever you want. I'm not a fan of keto, but it is low carb option. Now, I am going to tell you, I'm going to post the macros when I'm finished. However, it is a little higher in fats. So keep in mind that if you are trying to fit your macros, that you got to pay attention, put it in MyFitnessPal. Also, that you're going to have a few more calories in it because fat grams do have more calories. They are 9 grams or 9 calories per gram versus 4 that carbs and proteins have. So, you're going to be a little higher in fats there, but if you are going low carb or if you are really trying to cut out a lot of sugar, this is a great option because it is very low sugar. So super easy. It's going to take me a minute to actually mix it together, but the ingredients are super simple. So I'm going to take 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. This has been my friend in a lot of recipes that I've chosen to do here lately, but super simple. Okay, and you know that when you mix or whip heavy whipping cream, it actually thickens into a consistency that gives us kind of more of that ice cream consistency when we freeze it. So we're going to put that in a bowl. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa because, of course, I don't know, who doesn't like chocolate? I know there's a few of you. I think y'all are weird. No, that's just funny. But anyway, all right, so here we go. I'm gonna put 2. I'm almost out. That's just crazy. Might have to go buy some more. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. Okay, I'm also going to add, and I love almond butter. It's a great alternative to peanut butter. It's still a really awesome option for healthy fats. I'm going to add a tablespoon of almond butter. Now, this is a no sugar added. I just got this from my local grocery store, and you just have to look for it. This is a no stir, which is kind of nice, because otherwise I have to dump it out and give it a good stir before, otherwise all of the oil's at the top and it settles, and down at the bottom all you get is the dry stuff. Okay, so I've got a tablespoon of the almond butter. I'm going to also add 5 drops of liquid stevia. Now, this is super, super simple. You can get this, a lot of your local grocery stores just carry like a store brand. Of course, I'm a big fan of Amazon because I don't always have time to run around and find what I need, but I'm gonna put 5 drops of stevia. You could actually also use another flavor, like maybe vanilla or something to that effect, but I'm doing just regular, like not any kind of a flavor-free. So it's called Sweet Drops. Okay, and to that I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and that's it. That's all that it consists of. So I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of the vanilla. Now this is the hard part. It's going to take you all of about 5 minutes because you do have to actually mix it with. I'm using a hand mixer. Works a little bit better than, say, a stand mixer because honestly I need the two beaters to really give it a good mix together. It needs the air to get into it. So this is what's going to take me the longest. Ooh, and I'm making a mess. That's always good. I know it's a little noisy, but just give it a second here. I just want to show you what it looks like when it's finished. I do have a little rubber scraper just to scrape the sides down. So for those of you that really are like me, where once in a while you just have a really intense sweet tooth and you need something, I'm trying to give you lots of options that are super simple because I don't do complicated. Not the best cook here, but I love to bake. So if you were on for last week, we did the zucchini fritters. If you didn't see those were amazing. You gotta go back and watch it, try to make it. It's the right season for it. Zucchini's in season, and if you ask your neighbor, you might get one for free. All right, so again, this is gonna take a good 3 to 5 minutes, but I wanna get it to the right consistency. I did mix up a batch in advance, but I'll tell you about that one in just a second. But it tastes amazing. So we're gonna whip this up. Now I will warn you that the macros and the recipe that I paste down below here, it's a little interesting because even though it has your macros and it has your calories, it doesn't really say how much a serving size is. So keep that in mind. You might have to put everything into MyFitnessPal separately and figure it out. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I want to know exactly how much I'm getting. So again, this is going to take a minute. Meanwhile, I'm going to clean up at the same time. I do have a bag that I'm going to put it in when I'm done, and that way I can throw it in the freezer for a few minutes so it can solidify just a little bit. And as you can see, it does. It takes a minute to actually thicken up. But because of the heavy whipping cream, it will. So for those of you that are just jumping on, we are making a low-carb Wendy's Frosty, kind of a great chocolate ice cream option that's not really ice cream. But for those of you, especially where it's so hot out right now, I don't know about where you live, but it's over 100 in the Tri-Cities. So anything that keeps us cool, we're fans, right? And for those of you that are going to the boat races today, have fun, but be safe. Okay, we're just starting to see a little bit of thickness coming in here. Can you imagine if we had to whip this by hand? That would not be fun. All right, so scrape down the sides a little bit, make sure all the chocolate mix it in. And again, I will post the recipe down below. So if you're wanting to try this out today, super simple. Again, it's just heavy whipping cream, a tablespoon of almond butter, a little bit of unsweetened cocoa, the liquid stevia, and a little bit of vanilla extract. Super simple. It's all stuff I actually had. Okay, just starting to thicken up here. And of course, like any good chef, I will be tasting it before I throw it in the freezer. Okay, so it will come from a liquid, just a really thin liquid consistency. It'll start to thicken up, and it will kind of almost resemble a meringue or kind of frosting, a thicker frosting. Toughest part is putting it in the freezer. You're supposed to put it in for about anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, or just until it starts to harden up a little bit. That's a tough one, right? Because to get it to about the right consistency, you either have to set a timer and keep checking it. Since I made mine 2 nights ago, my other option is not quite the right consistency, but I will at least show you what I got. All right, we're just getting there. Almost finished, I promise. All right, I'm gonna scrape the sides down one more time. Looking pretty good. Very cool. Meanwhile, let me really quick tell you about what's going on here in the fall. We've got about 7 or 8 competitors this year for Night of Champions, which is a bodybuilding and physique competition in Spokane, Washington. So October 27th, if you are anywhere in the Spokane area, definitely come. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a really big group this year. They're really excited, and they would love for you to come cheer for them. All right, so I think we're about there. And just because I'm impatient, I'm probably going to stop a little early. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so the heavy whipping cream is thickened up. Still a little looser than I would like it. But I'm going to taste it really quick. Make sure I don't need to add a little more liquid stevia. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker. Tastes really good. Okay. There we go. So, sorry that was really loud, but you know, hand mixers are hand mixers. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually just going to stick this in the sink. And yes, you can see that my kitchen is really my kitchen. My fridge has all of my family's paperwork and fun stuff on there. So I'm coming to you right from my kitchen. All right, so I'm gonna stick it. Now it says a freezer bag. Honestly, I don't have any freezer bags right now, so I'm just gonna use a storage bag because honestly, it's just gonna get eaten real fast. I'm gonna scoop it in, put it in the freezer for, like I said, about 30 to 60 minutes. Set your timer for 30 and check it, because to be honest, if it gets too hard, it's really gonna be hard to pipe out. Once you're finished, you're just gonna cut a hole, just like if you were using a pastry bag, you're gonna cut a hole in the corner and just squeeze it out into some cups. Okay, so I about got that. I'm gonna throw this in the freezer. and set a timer. Now again, I just pulled mine out. I had to throw it back in the freezer for a little bit because I had it in the fridge and it was pretty liquid. So it's not really the consistency that I would like it to be, but honestly, it doesn't affect the flavor. Ooh, like my fingers. Okay, I'm gonna stick that in the freezer. Tastes amazing. Again, so those of you that have a sweet tooth, this is a great option. At least you can have something that's very low sugar. All right, so the one that I took out this morning, like I said, is not quite the right consistency that I'd like it to be. However, I'm still gonna show you, because that way, you know that sometimes things just don't work out quite right, but we're still gonna utilize it anyway. So I'm just gonna cut a little hole in the corner of the bag. This is called the cheap and easy way to do it if you don't have pastry bags or those little Wilton frosting bags. We just used them all. Okay. So I'm just gonna use one of our little cups that we tend to use for parfaits and things like that. I'm just gonna squeeze. Like I said, it's not quite the right consistency that I'd like it to be, but again, it doesn't really affect the flavor. But it's the closest thing that you're gonna get to a very low sugar, easy to make ice cream. Yeah, not quite turning out how I like it to in the cup, but that's okay. So again, tastes amazing, something that keeps us nice and cool for the summer, get your sweet tooth, you know, cravings out of the way, and it tastes awesome. There you go, pretty awesome. So look out for the recipe below. Guys, please leave your comments below. I get my best ideas from you. I've got some great recipes coming up the next couple of weeks, so pay attention. And if you haven't checked it out, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I answer all your questions when it comes to health and fitness at Q&A Wednesday on Facebook Live. So have a great weekend, guys.